And we're back, friends. Not losing us that quickly. We're back again, Jeff and Micah. Obviously, talking to you more about some hockey.
Yeah, there's quite a lot to talk about.
We kind of thought last time that was gonna be more coming out of
right,
this.
and we're definitely right.
Yeah,
it's nice though.
We'll obviously get more into that, but we always have some signings, late RFA kind of signings.
A big RFA, honestly, signing.
Depending on who you ask, yeah.
For the first one.
Not the second one.
Yeah, there was one that just broke probably like 10 minutes ago, maybe.
Yeah,
and then
half hour or something like that before we got on.
And then we got some news and some things to go over in Philadelphia.
Yes.
But the team we're covering today is the New York Rangers. Mm-hmm. By the way, really quickly about New York before we get started and everything. I don't know if you've had a chance, but during the rookie tournament, Capo had a highlight reel goal. And for those wondering if there's any doubt about Kakko having what it takes to be in the NHL already, look at that play and tell me otherwise. And I would love to get your response back because that is a NHL play right there.
I'll get into that when you talk about the Rangers.
That's a high-end NHL play.
First,
anyway,
go ahead. First, we'll just do our usual hit around the league.
Yep.
And how do you want to do this? For most recent to kind of not so recent, or kind of...
Let's kind of play a little catch-up.
To then...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Because the first one I'll just say is Jumbo Joe Thornton re-signed in San Jose, which we did kind of talk about last time, and that... Marlowe might not have been coming back.
Yes, that's right.
I think this might have been because of it. Cause
probably
was signed for 1 year, $2 million, and that would have.
I'm bringing up the cap friendly now. So, they only have they have 2.68 left.
Yeah,
that's not.
That
nearly
might not
enough
been
for
enough for
it.
Marlowe
Definitely was
because
literally that would take up the rest of their cap.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he would probably want more. Because what was his last contract?
That was a good amount.
It was a big one. But even if he signed short term,
and 17-18, it was
like
3 years, 18-7, so 6.25 million.
Man, yeah, like even if it was for 1 year, he would probably at least want $3 million.
Mm-hmm. Even if it was like his standard contract, that was 4.1.
Yeah.
Even that would have been a little too much
literally
for a 39-year-old.
They have absolute, because they have no one else to re-sign.
Yeah. So for me, I think that might have kind of confirmed my thinking of how that kind of played out for them.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but I don't know.
I mean, if I was them, I probably would have gone Thornton over Marlowe, just for the pure fact that one. Not that both of them can't lead.
Yes.
But one's a winger, other's a center.
Yes.
He's still older, I think. They're about the same age, late 30s. 39
Thornton, his age.
He's 40.
He's 40, so he's
Thornton's
older.
40 and Marlowe's 39.
Yeah.
So they're about the same age.
Yeah, but still.
And you can still throw Thor now on the second, third line, somewhere around there, and still do pretty well. So for me, that's why if I was running them, I would have done the same thing and gone Thornton over Marlowe. Not that Marlowe's not a good player or not valuable at all.
But I'm glad that you brought something like that up because I remember seeing this months ago. Yeah. And just because you're talking about leadership and everything, this clicked in my head and I had the article up. So back in
quick.
Yeah. So back in the playoffs. During the first playoffs, we're talking about playoffs. We gotta win a game first. Back in the playoffs, though, during Game 7, obviously Vegas went up 3-0.
Yeah,
and then after the Joe Pavelski incident, obviously it was controversial now, but at the time, and it was still a very scary play. But at the time, and even after the game was over, Peter DeBoer, the head coach of the San Jose Sharks, he credits Thornton in the Sharks' wild comeback against Vegas. The reason why is that he said when Joe Pavelski got injured, Thornton wasn't even thinking about a penalty because he's so concerned about his captain. He said he'd never seen him stay down, so he knew it was bad. He was stunned and disturbed. He added DeBoer added that when San Jose tied at 3-3, Thornton on the second unit. So so he hadn't seen much power play time during the span. He told him DeBoer to keep the number one unit out there. Just because it was such a heads-up snap decision by a good leader. And the fact that something like this happens when your emotions are running wild, and the fact that you're one of your best friends, let alone your captain, and when your best players and teammates goes down with a horrific, scary injury, your first thought is, we need to get some payback. We need to, hurt them or whatever. But you get them payback on the scoreboard, not physically. You get payback on the scoreboard. That's exactly what they did.
I feel like that's kind of the way NHL's kind of gone lately.
Exactly.
In that way. Exactly. Even like the Jake Voracek one, where there was a little bit of when people thought the Islanders were going to come back at him.
Yes.
But really, they did kind of. But then he got his thing he got a suspension, even though he probably shouldn't have gotten suspended and everything. So he already got what he deserved.
Right.
And they didn't make the playoffs. So at the end of the day, they kind of
had the last laugh.
Yeah. Not that they didn't go after him.
Right. And then that also reminds me.
But that also shows for Thornton and guys like him, veterans, I'm sure Chara and even Marlowe, you could probably throw on that list too, are guys that would have, in that situation, probably who are familiar in that situation in a late playoff game that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, like, at least.
Because, especially in the playoffs, you don't want to take dumb penalties.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing is he was thinking first.
That's why you always see, even like, I would say even back in the day, like, unless it was like some kind of blowout or whatever near the end of the game, there was never really any fights or anything. Because once the playoffs started, you're like, okay, do your hits.
Yep.
If payback happens, then
payback happens. Yeah.
Like you would have thought maybe like the big Giroux hit a couple years ago, that maybe that would have caused some kind of backlash of someone going after Giroux because
on Crosby or
on Crosby.
Okay, yeah.
That maybe someone would have gone after Giroux because you hit their captain.
Right, but the thing is, that was only 5 seconds into the game,
and the Flyers used that as their.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I'm just saying you could have had that other way of.
Absolutely, 100%.
But then
it also reminds me.
But then also the backside of that is, if you go after Giroux, then Sims is going to go after you.
Oh, and not only that, but he's going to put you into the ice hard.
Yeah,
like exactly. But because the other thing that reminds me,
Hartnell, because they're both on the team.
Yes, and Hartnell, and probably Talbot.
Yeah, Talbot did get in that skirmish.
He was a scrappy player.
He was, but I just remember that end of the year, that whole like scrum or whatever.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Talbot was in the middle of that too.
He was, yeah. But because, a perfect example, the hit on Giroux against Detroit, where it was a clear dirty hit by Anthony Mantha. No one did anything yet. Not only that, because it also, like, these type of hits and everything, it depends on where you are in the game. What's the situation? So right away, I'll go back to the Giroux in a second. Or sorry, I guess Thornton in a second. So right away, I think there's a couple the cross check or two here and there, just to let them know, hey, you can't do that to our player, especially our captain. We'll get you later. But also, because I think Couturier, because it's mentioned in like the Flyers TV originals on YouTube. It's mentioned on one of those that they didn't go after him only because of the chance that they had. They had some sort of offensive scoring chance that they created because of some play. They wanted to get the best chance possible. And then, of course, Simmons, as we all know, got his revenge for Giroux the next game by beating the living crap out of him. But going back to San Jose now, though, right away, everyone knew, oh, man, this is bad. And you saw blood on the ice. It wasn't moving. And you knew it was going to be some sort of big
I'm sure there's a bunch
penalty.
Of Sharks fans that hate that they didn't re-sign Pavelski, but...
Oh, for sure. Honestly, I was definitely a little shocked, but at the same time is, obviously looking at everything now in hindsight, easy, they literally can't.
They couldn't. because
they couldn't. Yeah,
they couldn't afford him and Carlson. That was what it came down to. But yeah, we kind of went on a little tangent there, as
always.
Another one that was kind of big for Carolina.
Yeah.
Jake Gardner signed.
Fantastic move.
A 4-year deal worth $16.2 million, 4.05 annual average annual. So that's not bad.
So I think this is a really smart move and gives Carolina so much depth now.
But then there's also other kind of Carolina news. It hasn't happened yet, but there's been trade talks between Carolina and Anaheim for Justin Falk.
Right. So here's my biggest thing out of this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the defensive core right now, including for Jake Gardner for Carolina Hurricanes. Dougie Hamilton, Jacob Slavin, Justin Falk, Jake Gardner, Brett Pesce, Trevor Van Riemsdyk, Gustav Forsling, and Hayden Fleury.
Mm-hmm.
That's a hell of a defensive depth core right there.
It is.
Like, literally, your top four would be Hamilton, Gardner, Falk.
If you still have them.
If you still have them, yes.
There's no deal.
And I don't know if you go, because I know Pesce and Fleury, they're very young, but they're very good for their age. And TVR, Trevor Van Riemsdyk.
You'd probably be with Slavin.
With Slavin? Okay. So then, But
I mean, you just, if you look at his contract and everything, you would have to think.
But either way, though, why would you want to get rid of him? Like, unless... Because
I don't know.
Because now with the addition of Gardner, now you have 3 defensemen. Why can't you just have 3 defensemen on the side? Or sorry, have 3 defensemen on the one side that are left-handed and 3 on the right side or the other side that are right-handed. You know, that's how. At least if I was a coach.
Here's the thing: it's a similar problem that the Flyers have.
Well, right.
They have 8 defensemen.
Yes. Yeah, but
so.
And to be fair, Falk, besides Gardner, because he's 29, Falk is TVR is 28. Falk is the second oldest.
Yeah.
Well, technically third oldest, whatever you want to call it, out of the defensemen. Their age average 25.6.
Yeah, that's a young decor.
It is, and I love that for Carolina. My thing, though, is Falk is such an impact player for Carolina. I wouldn't want to get rid of him because he's honestly, I think he's still in the middle of his prime right now.
Right.
He's killing it.
I mean,
look what he did in the playoffs last year.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be in his prime for
unless they
quite
think
a while.
Can get something good back in return from
which
from
they
Anaheim,
will.
Which they could.
And there were rumors that Andre Kasha, David Kasha's older brother in Anaheim, he could be possibly going the other way. I don't know if that's a rumor, but if I was Carolina, that's a player who I would right away call about and go for. Because obviously Carolina can't pry out someone like John Gibson from Anaheim. There's no way. I mean, you could see if you could swing it if you're that desperate for a true number 1 starting goalie. But they might be content with Mrazek and Reimer. But if I were them, and if they were to make this trade, the first player I'd be asking about, and apparently who they've been trying to get, or at least I've been interested in, is Andre Kasha.
Yeah.
So if I'm Carolina, I would try my best not to make this trade. But if they do make this trade, get Kasha. And probably
I don't know how
piece. I don't know how it would all work.
Because Kasha is young. He's 23.
Yeah.
I don't know how Anaheim would really feel about that because they are, like we talked about them before, they are an older team, so they probably want some younger guys to kind of eventually come up, obviously.
Well, here's my thing, though, because when we broke down Anaheim, or no, we broke down Anaheim, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we broke down all the teams in the Pacific.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. Because look at here's 3 players.
Not that they couldn't use Falk as a defenseman.
Right.
They're as good of a defense that they do have.
They have Cam Fowler, Hampus Lindholm, Josh Manson, Corbin Ian Holzer, Delzato, and Brandon
After
Gould.
those 3, it drops a lot.
It drops off
Falk
way
would
off.
Be a great
That would be a great addition. Because the average...
you have to give up.
Okay.
To
all right. Well, here's something for Anaheim. Their average age is 27.8. That's not terrible
That's not terrible, but two
not
of the
great,
main
though.
guys that you think
34
about,
and 35.
they lost out
Perry.
because, yeah.
For the
And
record,
then-
I actually don't mind Anaheim as much now because Perry left the team.
I mean, Getzlaf's still there, Kessler, but yeah.
I don't mind those two as much. I just
Mhm.
wasn't a fan of Perry.
But those two also
No
bring
offense.
they do bring the average age a little up.
Oh, yeah, big time. And also Patrick
and
Eaves.
it's really just Ryan Kessler's going to be out for a long time this season, and he's just eating up a lot of cap. at that
Yeah,
point.
so for Anaheim, do you buy his contract out sometime soon?
Maybe,
Probably next year?
yeah.
Wait, one more year and then buy him out? I don't know. But
Not
anyway,
that he's not one healthy, a great impact kind of defensive
And he's
forward.
one of those-
in his career.
he's one of those
it's been that
pain in
way.
the ass type of guys.
Yeah.
But that's his job. He does a good job of it.
Mhm.
But no, so here are some young guys, and I mean
Oh,
young.
that's where Stolarz is.
Yeah,
I
Anaheim.
forgot.
Yeah. Good luck, Stolies. But no, there's 3 guys right off the bat that should be on this team
Mm-hmm.
that have seen ice time in the NHL before. One of them, I want to say it was so the 3 guys is Max Jones, Sam Steele, and Maxime Comtois.
Mm-hmm.
And those 3 should all be on the team. They'll help bring down the average age, but also just in general.
Yeah.
They need to have those guys up while players
I
like
feel like-
Getzlaf and Kessler are still
'Cause
around to help
Both,
coach them and mentor them.
like Perry, he had his injury issues. Kessler's had his injury
Yes.
issues, obviously Kessler, which meant the past couple season or two, it had to be between Silverberg and Henry kind of running this team.
Yeah. It's more so been Silverberg. Obviously,
Yeah.
Henry just got here.
Yeah, but
And
more so that,
Henrik's
yeah.
done a good job so far.
Mhm.
And honestly, this is kind of reamping his career a bit because he was
Yeah.
a sensation in 2012. After that, he's dropped off.
Mm-hmm.
He was kind of like a one-hit wonder and then tailed off. But, I think Max Jones, Sam Steele, Maxime Comtois, they should all be on the team. And
But again, I think
they all need to have great mentors like
Mhm.
Getzlaf and Kessler. You could even argue someone like, Henrique or Silverberg, who have been in the league for quite some time.
Yeah.
Because they're 6, 7 years older than these guys. 8, no, I lied, even 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just why I think about Anaheim's situation. They need to get those 3 up because they're those 3 best prospects in my opinion.
I don't know how they won it. I mean, some of the other guys they have on here, when you go towards the bottom, you can kind of maybe see them taking their spots. But
Yeah.
if you already have Ryan Kessler out to start the year, that opens
Right.
a spot already. So
Yeah, you also have I've heard of this guy Isaac Lundstrom.
Mm-hmm.
From what I remember, he's not too bad of a
Yeah.
prospect himself. I'm trying to think. I don't see any other names that really stick out to me. No, it's because I would say Anaheim is their own thoughts and opinions on their prospects. I have my own,
Yeah,
but the top 3 guys I mentioned,
you would have up.
I would have up immediately.
kind of like what we talked about with the Islanders last.
Yeah,
time.
for sure. No, you're 100% right. You really are. All right.
I like how we kind of went deeper there than we probably did. When
Yeah,
we actually
right?
talked about them.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, there you
Not
go.
that-
We got
yeah.
Anaheim part 2. All right.
There you go, Anaheim.
I
I thought we did better there, actually pumping them up than we did.
I
When we actually
agree.
talked
I
about
agree.
'em.
I agree. Oh
Because
boy.
I think you had them I think we might have both had them at the bottom of the Pacific.
And we definitely do though because
It
it's
was a
fair
toss
to
up
say.
between me with them in LA, but then you can't. There's things there and those teams that
Yeah.
you're like, you wouldn't think just because a couple years ago,
right.
They
They
were
were
good.
literally on top of this world.
and they still have Anaheim's sake. Those 3 guys
Yeah.
are still good defensemen. And you still have Gibby, who I think is the best goalie in the league.
I love Gibson.
I mean, he
Not
wasn't
only
my
that,
top.
but he's an American, and
Yeah.
he's going to help lead the Americans, hopefully. If the NHL decides to have their players in the Olympics.
They will.
All right. Well,
I think it's like in China or something like that.
that's
so
right.
I think they.
well, I'm just praying that he'll help lead them to a gold medal.
I think
one of these
that's why.
days.
I think that's why the whole World Cup thing kind of disbanded.
Yeah, for sure.
But then I'll do the one today. Pavel Zacha.
Yes.
He resigned.
Well,
getting back to the signings, because we really like these tangents here. We've been on for 20 minutes. We went on 2 tangents. But Pavel Zacha, he signed a 3-year, $6.75 million deal worth 2.25 average annual. So, I mean, that's probably what I would have. Maybe a little less, but that's not far off from what it would have given him.
Right.
And if you would have seen the stuff that came out yesterday, which I thought be the stuff we were talking about him today, because he had some deal or something in the KHL.
Yeah, because I was going to say, remember, because the reason why this is such a big deal, again, is because he had that contract going for him in the KHL. That was more so just, like a fallout plan and everything. Mm-hmm. But this is where it gets interesting, though, because
Ray Sherrill didn't care if he was signing
that's what
the
I'm
KHL.
confused about, because there was a all right, I'm just gonna look it up because I texted you, but it's gonna be way too far.
I already brought it up.
Oh, cool.
The text you sent me that said that.
So this is quite some time ago that apparently this came out, because this came out not from like any source, but this came out from like, I think it was the AP, mm-hmm. right?
This is a tweet out from Stephen Wino.
Yeah.
And he tweeted, Devils GM Ray Sherrill to AP's John Waro on restricted free agent Pavel Zacha. I don't give a expletive if he signs with the KHL or if he signs with expletive Brampton. I don't give a expletive where we hold his rights.
Right. So, and then in a press conference or press release, Sherrill stated, "We are happy to have finalized this 3-year agreement, as Pavel is an important part of our team. He's established himself as someone who can play in any situation, and we are looking forward to his continued growth as a player." This comes one day after Zacha had apparently come to terms on a deal in the KHL. Again, so Sherrill said Monday he didn't care if Zacha signed in the KHL or with Brampton and ECHL team, adding that it's not the advice I would give him, and it's a long way back to the NHL. So that's certainly a nicer way that Sportsnet put it than how it was announced.
Again, because we talked about this not last time, but the time before when we were talking about the Devils and Zacha, and he's just been a giant kind of question mark for them.
He really
because the guys they've gotten since him have done already and could potentially, and Jack Hughes, do better than he's already done in his longer span of being here.
Because he's played so this past year he played 61 games, scoring 25 points, 13 goals, 12 assists. He's collected 29 goals, 47 assists for 76 points in 201 games. So that means
even with
so he's already scored. So in his short career so far, he scored a majority of his goals last year were 13.
Yeah.
While the other years he scored 16 combined.
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
Especially for a 6th overall pick.
But who else from that 2015 draft can you say that's been brought up and down year after year, it seems, to the AHL and NHL?
That's kind of like Zacha and everything?
Yeah. The only one I could think of is Strome, but he found his game last year.
Right, he found his game. So
not that Zacha could eventually find his game, but...
All right, I don't know if he's ever gotten a chance.
Because everyone else, because it's...
Well, okay. There's a couple guys within the first round, that is, that I don't think that they're either in the NHL or they just haven't gotten a chance yet. Because the one guy...
I meant like for... Yeah.
Right. No, I know what you mean, though. Let's see here. Yeah, there's not really... Let me look at him. I don't know. Yes and no. Not no, I wouldn't consider this one. But Nick Merkley for the Arizona Coyotes, he got drafted by them 30th overall in 2015. He's only played in one NHL game. So he in 2017-18, he played 38 games, put up 39 points. Then he got called up for a game, and then I guess that was that. But then last year he played in 45 games for the Tucson Roadrunners, the AHL affiliate of Arizona. 45 games, 34 points. So I wouldn't really consider him one.
No,
just because
they're even
he wasn't
again.
up and
That's with
down.
Arizona. Arizona was kind of had problems with just Dylan Strome and how they were handling him, and he when he was on the Roadrunners was like the best player in the AHL.
Yeah. Let me look up this guy really quickly because to me, okay, you could somewhat argue this guy as well. He was with, I forgot how he got there, but so he was with Arizona. He got drafted by them.
Mm-hmm.
He played in his rookie year 72 games, put up only 12 points. Next year, 11 games, only 1 point. Then later that year, he got sent down to Tucson, where he put up 32 points, 56 games. The last year, he was up 2018-19, 25 points in 81 games. But now, he's a member of the... I'm sorry, no. This is what it was. Other way around. He got drafted by Florida and got traded to Arizona. Let's hear it. It was because it was part of the Dave Bolin trade. It was Dave Bolin and Lawson Krause to Arizona for a third-round pick 2017 NHL draft.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so there's honestly out of that first round, there hasn't been many guys like Pavel Zacha who's been up and down, down. Because literally you have McDavid, Eichel, Strome.
Like there's been guys like even the guys you said they were kind of set where they were.
Exactly.
They weren't like, this guy started the year and then he showed, but he struggled, so he went back down.
Exactly.
Then he went back up because someone got hurt. Then he went back down. Because
really, the only player I can think of, and you can honestly clearly look at, is Dylan Strome.
Yeah.
But now he's obviously found his game in Chicago.
Yeah.
He put up 51 points in 58 games last year.
There you go.
With Chicago
and just
alone.
That time alone, isn't that more than what Zacha put up?
Yeah. Absolutely. Literally. So a combined, because he was with Arizona for 20 games.
Mm-hmm.
He put up 6 points in 20 games, 3 goals, 3 assists. But then he lit it up. 17 goals, 34 assists, 51 points in 58 games for Chicago. Yeah. So combined 57 points in 78 games, 20 goals, 37 assists.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's honestly, I'm so happy for Dylan Strome. He got a lot of heat for not being able to perform in Arizona.
I was one
Mike
of them.
Whitmer.
I was one of them.
I always stood behind Stromer because I knew what type of player he was. I was happy that Arizona got him. I thought he can hopefully help lead this team. Unfortunately, it didn't work out.
But because I was not really saying buzz kind of player, but like,
no, but and you did have a right to obviously argue that because it is worrisome that the third overall pick in what was the best draft class since 2003.
But we're saying the same thing to the guy who was, what, 6th, right?
Yeah.
Who's doing even worse.
Yes. So, but that's more fair to say, though, because...
Can I actually see... I want to see something.
Here's something. Zacha has played 201 games. Strome, he's only played 106 games.
Here's what I want to know.
And
Strome is an RFA next offseason.
Interesting.
Now, what I think happens? Well, I'm assuming he's going to have another good year.
I think someone's going to offer sheet him.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's just why I think I could be dead wrong.
Almost 2.5 mil cap for the Blackhawks.
We'll see, though.
They do have to re-sign both one of either Crawford or Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
And then Perlini to Brinkett. Oh, yeah, that's going to be another big one, too. But, yeah, I bet he gets more than Zacha now.
Yeah.
Because if you would have told me this a year ago, what I would have thought Strom would get would be similar to what Zacha got now.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, this could be different, and Zacha could play great next offseason and prove me wrong. But so far, he hasn't. And maybe the acquisition of Hughes might help him just because where he's going to be playing, he's not going to have as hard of a task or hard of a matchup. But if you're asking me at this point, if let's say the Flyers are playing the Devils, because we're Flyers fans and we obviously play them the most, and your third lines are going up Zacha versus Patrick, I'm going Patrick over Zacha.
Any day
Even
of the
though
week.
Patrick's obviously not yet solidified himself as a great centerman yet.
Again,
he's had glimpses, but not really strong. But I'd still give him the edge over.
But my thing is, for Patrick, it reminds me so much of how Couturier started.
Yep.
Defensive center and everything, and people were getting on his case about not putting up a lot of points. Actually, I want to look up Sean Couturier's rookie year.
2011.
Because I'm pretty sure I could be wrong. Patrick had a better first 2 seasons than Sean Couturier did. Points wise. 31 and then 32. Couturier 27, then dropped down to 15. Yeah. Then he's literally broken out ever since then. 39, 37, 39, 34, 76, 76.
And then obviously,
So, yes. But anyway, so that's why I'm even more patient of
Patrick.
Of Nolan Patrick. Yeah. And that's why people should relax.
And it's not as long as Zacha has been. Just put that out there, too. But before we go into any more tangents, let's go into the biggest one that's happened.
Yeah.
And Zacha Werenski, 3 years, $15 million, 5-year average annual, obviously. And there was a tweet from Bob McKenzie that I found kind of interesting.
Yes, absolutely.
A thread that he was tweeting out yesterday. And the one tweet that kind of stood out to me was because he was talking about RFAs and UFAs and everything. But the tweet was, with most, not all, but most of these RFAs, a 3-year bridge deal will leave them 1 year shy of UFA status when it expires. So the year 3 compensation amount is important because that ensures the qualifying offer for the 4th non-contracted year is at least that much. So that his last year for Werenski is $7 million. Where the first 2 years are $4 million.
Yeah.
So that's why the kind of big jump a little bit there.
Interesting. I'm not going to lie, but I really thought that you were going to bring up because you said that was a thread.
Yeah, it was the start of his thread.
Okay. Maybe I'm looking at a different thread then, because I thought we were going to be on the same one, but I guess not.
He must have had multiple threads.
I'd assume so. Sorry, continue though.
That was his tweet though.
Right.
So essentially, when his contract ends, he's still going to be an RFA. He's not going to be a UFA.
Ooh.
Because it's 3 years.
That's interesting. So wait, let's say if
only 3 years.
Yeah, so let's say if it is a 4-year deal, then
he'd be UFA.
UFA. That's interesting.
Yeah, it's just the RFA UFA kind of status kind of thing that he explained there why he would be an RFA, and if Provorov or Charlie McAvoy signed another kind of 3-year deal, they would be RFAs.
Something about Provorov though I'll get to in a second because I want to keep talking about Werenski. So,
they kind of go hand in hand.
That's true. But I want to stay on Werenski for now. So McKenzie in the thread that I have up here, it could eventually lead to the same thread. I don't know, but it starts out saying nothing imminent on the Charlie McAvoy or Ivan Provorov RFA deals, but with camp opening this week and Columbus signing Werenski to a 3-year, $15 million deal today. Obviously, this is yesterday. Expectation is talks on McAvoy and Provorov will heat up considerably in the next day or two. Werenski deal could be a catalyst for McAvoy and Provorov, but no guarantee either. Of the two big RFAD, McAvoy has proclaimed his love for Boston and appear he's much more inclined to want a longer-term deal, 6, 7, or possibly 8, than a bridge deal, meaning 2 or 3. While for Provorov and Philly, meanwhile, have had limited discussions over the summer, and both sides apparently have been open to short range, 3 years, or long, 5 or 6. possibilities. In this instance and many others, doesn't seem like 7 or 8 years is likely. But now, Sam Carchini tweeted out 16 minutes ago, per source, Flyers and Provorov were working on a 6-year deal. That may change after Werenski signed a 3-year contract. Provorov is currently in South Jersey and working out, but he won't sign for what Werenski received 3 years at $5 million per.
No.
Which is fair.
Which is fair because
I think. Do you think Provorov would be okay with $6 million per year?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Because I would be willing to give him that.
Yeah.
4 years, $6 million per year.
Because we both kind of talked about this when it first came out. And obviously, we'll give our little opinions of the contract. But for me, it seemed like that kind of seems like a low base for someone. Only 3 years.
It really does.
Bridge deal for
but not only that, but
$15 million.
Look what Werenski did during his rookie year.
Yeah.
He was sensational. And he did everything right he should have done. Even when he was injured, he played in playoffs and everything, and he was great. He's one of the better young defensemen out there in the game. So he's honestly, because there's 3 defensemen in that first round that were taken in 2015. The first one that was taken, that I was happy that they took him, and I was a little surprised that they took him this early. But Noah Hanifin to Carolina, 5th overall. Then Provorov had a chance at Provorov. That makes sense. Philly had a chance at Provorov or Werenski. They took Provorov. Columbus went with Werenski with the 8th pick. So yeah, those are the 3 best defensemen. Hanifin's already on his second team because Carolina decided to get rid of him.
But you kind of had to if you were going to try to get Dougie Hamilton.
Yes. But they also got rid of Elias Lindholm.
Yeah, that's another big one too.
So yeah, I still have mixed feelings about what they gave up, but they got Dougie Hamilton in return. So yeah, but
both sides seem to be fine because they both made the playoffs.
Yes,
last year.
But so I just think that this whole thing is just interesting. But now the fact that at least Provorov is in South Jersey, that's very encouraging news.
Yeah.
He's working on everything. That means they're close.
Yeah.
I would be okay with a 6-year deal.
Yeah,
7 or 8 years, can be a little scary, but as long as they sign him, as long as it's not overpaying, because obviously Provorov, he's a good young defenseman, but he hasn't. It's kind of tricky how to word it. Would you say he hasn't proven enough yet to earn a big contract, or how would you put that? Do you know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
Yeah. How would you put that though? Because I'm kind of lost for words right now.
If we're going off last season, then probably not. But if we're looking at his whole tenure, they haven't gone back to when they're in the playoffs and everything. He's proven how determined, how great of a defenseman at times he can be.
Yeah.
There's been games where he's kind of held that team together.
Yes.
Now, some of the times it might have been because he wasn't paired with a great person, but when if he was with Ghost and everything, that looked great. Sometimes if he was with McDonald or something like that, it kind of went back and forth, but
for sure.
I wouldn't say he's proven that he's a good defenseman.
Yes.
He hasn't proven that he is
a great defenseman.
Yeah. He hasn't proven to me that he is worth a
7, 8
Doughty kind of contract,
yes,
or a
not
Carlson
yet.
kind of contract.
Not yet.
Yeah.
I think he'll get there, but again, not yet.
Because every year he tries to better and improve himself, as all these players do. And I think for him, it's definitely going to happen because he's still young.
Right. Yeah. Here's something else. Yeah.
Another thing, because Sam Carchidi, because someone commented on or replied on his tweet and said 6 years, $7 million ? And Sam Carchidi said that may get it done. If it was 6 years, $7 million, would he give that much to Provorov?
So that would be 6 years, $7 million.
Yeah.
I mean, hold on. I gotta bring up the cap. Because let's say if they do that. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, you know what? I'd be good with that because Philly currently has 13.4 mil right now in cap space. So that leaves, ideally, if you want, still roughly 7.58 mil left, enough to sign TK. Obviously, he won't get that much. But if you do want to give TK, because Zacha got quite a good amount for what I think he's worth right now.
Like, say you give him the
contract Zacha has.
No, I was going to say,
or if not more.
I was going to say if you gave him like the Couturier 4.3 a year.
I'd be great with that. If we got Travis Konechny on a Sean Couturier deal, wait, what was the length, like 4 years or no?
6 years, 26 mil.
If it's something like that, I'm 100% worth it for it. Because here's the thing that makes me laugh every year. People still...
Pierre opening his mouth.
Oh, that too, yeah. But no, people still think, and this includes Travis Konechny, that small players can't make the biggest difference. And a player like Travis Konechny, he's a game changer. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying he's a generational talent. No. He's not. As much as I love TK.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is he's a game changer, and he brings a speed and skill and intensity that you would want from a top 6 forward.
Shown maturity too, because remember when he first came in, he would always take like bad penalties and everything.
I do remember that vaguely, but I remember just enough. But
and now, like last year, I feel like it was a lot less.
Yeah,
because he kind of kept his
cool.
But I think he still might have had some things
that will happen. That will happen. But no, I'm really impressed with how.
But he's going to
much TK
he's going to be the next Flyers.
Emerged.
Not that he isn't already a guy that kind of will be a more productive kind of guy, like our Carcillo or something like that, where he'll get in someone's head.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. 100%.
Not that he already doesn't.
Yeah.
Not saying that Carcillo was a bad player. He was just kind of more of a grinder.
Yeah.
But I was going to say maybe more like Scott
Hartnell.
Scott Hartnell, but
because he gets in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was going to say more productive.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The other thing I love about TK, and people, I don't know how many people know about his junior background when he was, I already figured out where he played juniors. He played for the Ottawa 67s and then the Sarnia Stink because they realized that he was going to probably make the NHL, which I'm thrilled that they made that trade for him so he could go to Philly the next year.
That's kind of what all those teams kind of do.
Yeah. But my thing is that people tend to forget when he was with Ottawa in the 67s, he was a captain there.
Yep.
Not just an alternate captain. He was the captain of the Ottawa 67s. So he has that leadership role that people tend to forget about. So obviously it's going to be tough to swing something like this, but because you have so many great leaders, I wouldn't be surprised at some point in his career if he gets the A. Not now, but further down the road when he's a little bit older, when he's even more mature. And because right now, obviously, Drew's captain.
He could potentially be like the alternate that Simmons was.
Exactly. Like whether you do like Couturier is obviously the main alternate.
Yeah.
And have Drew captain, and then you have either another just set alternate, or you do TK at home or away, and then someone else.
I was just saying like how Simmons. I don't really know how I guess he was kind of a leader in the locker room, but he was always a guy that would stand up for the guy who got knocked down. And everything.
For sure.
He'll be the guy that would kind of row you up and everything. I think that would be the kind of alternative captain that would be towards Konechny.
Yeah, I agree with that. And
like I don't know if he's going to be doing like a Joe Thornton kind of thing.
No. But no, I like how you worded that. That's definitely a good way to put it. Yeah, no, I think he's more so.
He does kind of for me. I think he still has a lot of ways to go before I can give him an A. Or
and that, like I said, it's a couple years from now for sure, because you still have a bunch of veterans and a bunch of higher leaders like Ivan Provorov, who I wouldn't be surprised if he gets an A soon.
Yeah.
JVR possibly. I don't know if you would give him one. Possibly. Maybe a Matt Niskin.
If we keep Ghost.
If you keep Ghost, yeah, for sure.
Why not?
I think he's a good leader for Philadelphia. And people might not see it, but I know we do for sure. And
people see it when he's at his best and he's scoring.
He strives to be the best.
That's why people love him. It's because of that kind of style and flashiness he brings.
And flashiness is the perfect word for Shane Gostisbehere. He brings that flashy scoring ability to him, and the speed and intensity.
Which is a complete opposite of like a Sanheim.
Right.
Who is like it also more offensively. He's 2-way, but he's also good offensively.
But
he does it more subtly.
Right. He's more calm. He has a lot of poise for such a young age. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Which I think brings a lot of talent to that blue line, which I really hope comes together this year.
Honestly, I'm so excited for this year. I think it's going to be a real good year.
Oh, and in case you haven't realized, I think we move on to the Flyers.
Yeah. Yeah. So honestly,
sorry, Werenski. We care more.
Yeah,
about
I was
going
to say. I was thinking about it for a second. I was like, I can't even remember our last topic. Really quickly, just because I saw it pop up on my timeline here, then we'll get back to Philly because we do got some other Philly things to talk about. Jake Gardner apparently, according to La Presse's Alexander Pratt, turned down a 3-year, $15.75 million contract from the Canadiens back in early July. So he was going to get paid more, but he decided not to.
Yeah,
which is interesting. But hey, I'm fine with him going to Carolina. I think it helps them more.
That kind of made me kind of question how I feel like these teams will end up.
Yeah, right.
But I think for now we can officially move on to the Flyers.
One more thing I just saw. Yes. I saw because I've had this up for a while. Very little thing, but Patrice Bergeron admitted he suffered a bit of a setback when he needed an injection in late July to help heal his chronic groin issues. He said, quote, "I'm not sure if I'm going to be limited. I feel better, but it's lingering a little bit. It's been there most of the summer." So hopefully, for Bergeron's case, that will, take care of that. Yeah. One last thing, I promise, because this is very important actually
for Jeff.
For
NHL 20 comes out on Friday.
Oh, that too, yeah.
But know what I did find out, just because I want to go into this tangent for a second, because I just remembered it. They tweeted out the EA Sports' thing of the alumni players you can play with. Yeah. I cannot find Eric Lindros on that list.
Yeah, no, I couldn't either. Because I saw the roster that was revealed for Philadelphia. Or sorry, at least like the lines, because someone showed that all the lines. I just kind of
looked at
I didn't see him.
I just looked at the playable player list.
Like,
the Legion of Doom.
Right.
Like even
you would think Leclaire would be on there too.
I was gonna say him too, but he wasn't there.
Wow. They have Michael Hanzus on there.
I didn't see Yager either, but that might also just be because I think he's a free agent still in the game. They might still have him in the free agent kind of status.
No, he's with Pittsburgh. I'm pretty sure.
Is he?
I was looking. I think it's Coffee, Lemieux, and Yogs.
The only thing I was looking at when I looked at that was just they put up a big list of playable players. Yeah, they had him in left book order. And he was another one I couldn't find.
That's interesting.
So that's the only reason why. I said
but after another round of CBA discussions yesterday in New York, the NHL and NHLPA will meet again today. So talks continue with players having to make a decision on whether to trigger an early termination to the deal by Sunday.
Oh.
So take that as you may. Yeah. I'm hoping everything will be good. Because that way we can avoid another lockout for another 2 years, it sounds like it could be, which is always positive.
And obviously, we've kind of done it the past couple of podcasts, but we'll obviously keep you updated on those as well.
All right, so now...
sorry, one more time. Yeah, let's move on. I don't know how credible that was, actually, the Line A stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Of him potentially being traded or whatever.
Let's just mention it very briefly because we were talking about Anaheim earlier. There was and you're right. We don't know how credible this is, but there is a possibility that Anaheim is also working on a deal to land Patrick Laine from the Winnipeg Jets. That would also
mentioned other teams too.
But here's the thing, though. That would take. So let's say if Falk is going to Anaheim, and Line could possibly be going to Anaheim, that they would have to give up way too much.
Yeah, they would.
So it's either one or the other, and it would realistically be more so Falk than Line.
I'd say Falk just because
they need more defense.
I think you've seen more stuff about Falk.
And that too. He's a proven veteran. While Line, he's still on his entry-level contract.
I haven't seen anything else really mentioned about Line. So.
Yeah. So, like you said, we can briefly mention that. We did. All right.
But
now we can go to Philadelphia. Rookie game.
That is tomorrow.
Let's go.
And it will be televised.
Not only that, but Igor Zamula will be on display for the rookie game. And I think that's exciting. He proved his worth last year by getting a contract. Excuse me. But I'm definitely excited.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, Chuck Fletcher is very impressed by him because he said after watching Rookie Camp Tuesday and Voorhees, the one guy to me who keeps getting better is Zamula. He's an impressive young man. He has another year of junior. He's not a candidate to make your team this year in Philadelphia, but I saw him play in junior, and while scouting for the Devils, watched him play in training camp with the Flyers last year. He keeps getting better and better. So that's definitely a great sign.
Mm-hmm.
He also continues to say about Zamula, he has a tremendous package of size, skill, and skating. As he matures and gets stronger, he's going to be a pretty impressive player. He's likely to be paired with Phil Myers in the rookie game. I like that.
All right.
I like that.
Other guys that I've kind of seen that have kind of stood out were, obviously, I think Morgan Frost has Joel Farabee and Isaac Ratcliffe.
That's going to be a stellar line. Oh, my gosh. I can't wait for that.
I do want to see the Germ, too. I want to see what he can do out there. Especially coming off an injury, too.
Yup. So, I don't know.
And also, Sandstrom's actually looked pretty good, too, from what I've seen.
Yeah. So, my thing is, I don't know when they're going to release the teams. The rookie. The lineup, that's a good way to put it, for the rookie game.
That'll probably come out tomorrow morning. Or tomorrow
that's a good point, yeah. Obviously, sometime before the game, but still.
Yeah. But there's one other thing before I get to my point. The Flyers extended their their contract with the Reading Royals.
Yes.
ECHL. So you have the Reading Royals for next 2 years, was it?
Something like that.
Yeah. Either way, it was extended.
Yes, that's always good to see.
Also today they announced their promotional games.
Yes.
But there is one thing I did kind of want to get to today. Something that Charlie tweeted out like an hour ago, which was just kind of talking about the middle centers or whatever, which I'm not sure if we can get into it now a little bit. But the tweet that started his thread was, so he basically had, hold on, what was it? Sorry, hold on.
I got it right here.
One thing that jumped out to me when doing the depth chart research is just how long the lack of two quality centers thing has been a problem for the Flyers. This isn't a new issue. This has been a decade-long problem that hopefully Kevin Hayes solves, which I hope he does, because he does go in his thread here of going back all the way to 2011-12 of how the Flyers kind of first and second line centers kind of played.
Yeah.
Which hopefully Hayes can kind of help with that.
I think so.
Because he says that ended that whole thing was the whole thread was so basically you have to go back to 2015-16 and even in that year Giroux slowed down dramatically and at the end required surgery, and that's it. And you have to go back to 11-12 to find a season where the Flyers had a plus one or two down the middle punch all the way through the year for centers.
And that was Danny Briere at 2, Claude Giroux at 1.
Yeah. And the other one was 15-16 was Giroux and Couture.
But he did fine.
Yeah.
Not good, not great, but fine.
Yeah.
but Couturier was strong.
Yeah.
He goes, hey, you were two good centers.
Yeah. But essentially, it really has shown, especially if you look at that thread and everything, just how important it kind of was to move Drew to the wing.
Yeah.
To help his game out and everything. And now it's just kind of, which I think Kevin Hayes will help with that a lot, actually, that second line spot.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it would take him to get comfortable with everything.
Well, honestly, I think...
which I guess you can kind of say with everyone because it is a new coach, a new system and everything.
Well, Hayes is used to AV. Let's be honest here.
But he's not used to everyone else.
Everyone
else is not used to Vigneault.
Right. But I'm glad that Hazy at least is familiar with AV.
Yeah.
That's going to help him. And that's also why I think this is going to be a strong year for him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because he's used to the playing style AV has and everything. But if you had a guess, because right now on dailyfaceoff.com, they have Hayes centering Jake Voracek and James Van Riemsdyk.
Mm-hmm.
Would you switch JVR with Oscar Lindblom?
What, on the second line?
On the second line?
No.
Okay.
I think last year Oscar Lindblom really came to show that he's actually a really good forward.
Yes.
And I think that spot's going to be great for him.
Yeah. No, I'm so excited for Oscar Lindblom.
To learn from Hayes, and also he has Voracek on the other side of him, who he does have some chemistry with.
He's a real good passing game, though. But so I'm really excited to see
the young guys play tomorrow.
Yeah. It's just gonna be so great for Philadelphia.
It will be to get hockey back.
Yes. So close, everybody.
Yeah.
October 2nd is when the season officially begins. October 4th is when the Flyers begin.
But before we get to the Rangers, just one last thing.
Yeah.
Today could be a kind of important kind of day for the Flyers in re-signing both Provorov and Konechny, I think. Yeah. Just because, I forget where I saw it, but Chuck Fletcher was going to talk to both agents today.
Oh, cool.
So
I'm good with that.
I don't know if that's something that's... or it's probably going to be the last chance until camp opens that they're going to have a chance to probably get something.
Because again,
and I think because of that might come out with a deal.
Not only that, but since Werenski signed, that's going to help even more.
This is kind of a gut feeling for me.
Yeah.
Especially Moshe Provorov. But just because Werenski signed, that if not today, the next coming days, I think they sign.
Yeah, because again, what really helps drive it is the Werenski deal, and honestly, even the Pavel Zacha deal,
which I think actually goes back to our point last time too, when Clayton Keller signed.
Yeah,
we said that was going to possibly start a chain reaction,
and look what's rolling.
Shortly after,
look what's rolling.
Yeah,
so I think that's real good stuff right there. Because again, Chuck Fletcher, and this is the last thing before we jump to New York, is. Because I know for a fact he did say that he wants to get deals done before camp.
I think all these teams do.
At
the end of the day,
yes.
And really both sides, I feel like they should.
Yeah, exactly. And also,
players-wise, they're going to...
Even Vigneault said he would prefer to have these guys signed by training camp because...
That's something we talked about last podcast.
Right. Again, because it's a new coach, new system, and everything. You got to learn.
But
the sooner you learn, the better.
Everyone should learn from...
I was going to say Clayton Keller, just signed before.
Yeah. William Nylander. You should learn from...
Yes.
Everyone should learn from what happened last year with Nylander.
Don't become someone like Nylander.
Not go until November 30th or whatever the deadline is.
Whatever it was, yeah.
Because the rest of that year for him last year...
He
struggled.
Yeah. That was bad.
A lot of teams might be either, okay, if you don't want to play, then... There might be some teams that might be like, if you don't want to play, okay.
Yeah.
Then we'll probably talk about then later.
Right. But my thing is that I
think at the end of the day, a lot of these guys don't want this hanging. It's kind of like when it's when it's the last year of a contract, you don't want that looming over your head all season long. I don't think you want that kind of going all season long and then you get the constant questions at press conference. How's the contract negotiations going? How's the contract negotiations going? Yeah, right.
Because literally, you're going to hear nothing but that.
Ron Hextall got that same thing last year with Wayne Simmons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before he was fired.
Yeah. And then I had a thought, but I forget it, so I'm just gonna
We'll save it
bag
for
it
next time because
if I can remember it.
Next time we're going to.
We are going to Philadelphia next after New York, but first let's get to New York.
Yes.
Artemi Panarin, it was obviously the biggest acquisition of
arguably another team
the offseason.
Made the most kind of
noise in the offseason.
Yeah.
Obviously, it helps that they got the second overall pick. They got Capo Kakko. Either way, if for some reason the Devils didn't draft Jack Hughes and they would have grabbed Kakko, they would have had a great generational talent. Yeah. So obviously Hughes is I think he's generational talent. I kind of consider Kakko to be generational talent as well. Sure. Kakko, as I mentioned way earlier in the podcast, he had a sensational goal. I would highly recommend looking it up during the rookie
Wasn't
game.
Like a one-handed camp kind of thing?
I was just so dazzled and amazed by it. I don't even know how he put the puck in the net. I'll have to watch it again. But
you could probably Google it or
just look it up. It's so worth it. I just watched that on repeat. But, it's truly a piece of work. Yeah. It's amazing. It's crazy because he was circling around people left and right, major control. He reminded me the way he weaved left and right of Peter Forsberg on how he would easily.
I got that feel from it.
Yeah, I don't know how he would easily weave left and right, not even giving up the puck, and even when he tried to be knocked off, they literally physically could not knock him off the puck, and then he scores a beautiful goal.
But as we sorry to cut you off
You're good.
For a second, but
You're good.
As we kind of started most of these in the Metro, because I did the write-up for the Rangers, for their strengths, obviously they drafted Kakko, they acquired Trouba.
Yes, that's a big piece.
And they signed Panarin.
Yeah.
Great
that's three big pieces.
And here's another thing, too, that I kind of thought about when I was doing this and a potential, because there's a potential of another Lundqvist struggle. Because I posted this, too. I looked at this. Because his average stats over the past couple of years, he had a .915 save percentage, 298 goals against, and 17-18, to a .907 save percentage to 307 goals against. Slightly lower, and it goes slightly lower every year after that, from 2014-15. So obviously that goes with age, but not to say that he can't bounce back, because he is a great goalie. We've both kind of put him up there on that list.
For sure.
And then holes and weaknesses. Again, they don't really have any centers. And outside of getting Trouba, there's not really much on the defensive end either.
Wait, because that's where I want to look at. So right now, according to Daily Faceoff, here's what the lines could look like. Not definite, but could look like.
Yeah.
Panarin, Mika Zibanejad, and Pavel Buchnevich. I think that's a really strong first line. That's really strong. You're going to get a lot of production out of that. Chris Kreider, Ronstrom, and Capo Kakko, second line. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm all right with having Kakko on the second line, right wing, where he should be. Eventually, he'll take over that number one spot over Buchnevich. You may even see some experimenting during the season throwing him up there on the top line. But right away, I don't want him on the top line. No. Throwing him right into the middle of the fire. So I'm good with that. Third line, Vladislav and Mestakov. He's been rumored to possibly being moved throughout the summer. We got to keep an eye on that. I don't know
what's happened yet, so I doubt it. But
you never know. There could be a potential suitor early in the season if an injury or just something's happening. You never know. With Philip Cheadle and Vitaly Grostov. Elias Anderson, Brett Howden, Jesper Fast for the fourth line. I think that's actually one of the better fourth lines out there. Brett Howden came in that now in what I consider the infamous Ryan McDonough, JT Miller trade.
Right.
But Howden, he's a good young player. He was one for Tampa Bay. He's going to be a really good one for New York. I think they got a good player in him. And Elias Anderson, he's an exciting young player as well. He's a rather high draft pick. I think he's another exciting young player. Jesper Fast, he has some mileage on him already. He's not my favorite, but he's not my least favorite. But, he's so-so. I think he can provide some good depth. Brady Shea, Jacob Trouba on top defensive pair, Mark Stahl, Adam Fox, who they acquired from Winnipeg, I believe, if not another team. Lieber Hajek and Anthony DeAngelo is the final defensive pair. And then looking at the RFA still. So Brendan Lemieux and Anthony DeAngelo, they are the RFAs.
Yeah.
What do you think about those two? Do you know, first of all, do you know much about those two?
No, I do not.
Okay. DeAngelo, from my understanding, he's kind of a rugged defenseman, kind of a big hitter. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily saying he's a goon, but he kind of has similar that goon mentality.
So you think similar to like Morin?
Kind of yeah, thing, but I think kind of worse mentality than Morin. Okay. For Brendan Lemieux, I kind of have mixed feelings about him because he hasn't. It's not like he's kind of gotten a shot in Winnipeg because he got acquired in the Jacob Trouba trade. Yeah. Or sorry, no.
Kevin Hayes.
Kevin Hayes trade, I believe. Now I'm having.
It would have had to be that Kevin Hayes trade because why would they take on 2 RFA contracts?
Right. Yeah, it was the Kevin Hayes trade at the deadline, but but for Lemieux, he hasn't got enough of a shot in Winnipeg, in my opinion, to really prove it himself. Because he's probably a bottom 6 guy in Winnipeg, if not let alone just a 4th line guy. His first quote unquote season, 9 games, 1 goal. Second season, which is this past year, he played in a combined, because again he got traded, 63 games, 12 goals, 5 assists, 17 points. Nothing great, nothing terrible.
I don't know if you mentioned this yet. They only have like a little bit over $1 million.
And that's another thing. Cap. They don't have that much cap space right now, so they're hurting.
I think either of these guys are.
I think they'll just let DeAngelo walk. Well, no, they can't.
They can't really
because he's their 7th defenseman. They could sign him to a couple $100,000. Same thing with Lemieux. If anything, Lemieux would get what I mentioned to you earlier before the podcast, kind of like a Michael Raffle deal where he, what was it, 2.6 or 1.6? 1.6. If anything, a little bit less than 1.6 for sure. Actually, it has to be.
And also they did, we talked about this too, but they did buy out Kevin Shattenkirk too.
They did, who's now in Tampa Bay. But so I think
this isn't. Yeah, this sorry. Go ahead. Could be a big year for Trouba because, in Winnipeg, he wasn't the top guy. He could potentially be the top guy here, or he might have been with. I don't know. Because I think it might have been both Myers and Bufflin that were the top guys in. Winnipeg.
If not, he was still a top 4 role.
But even his strength obviously is offense, but when you have Bufflin, he had to be second unit.
Here's my worry though about Jacob Trouba. And this is where I get worried for him and New York fans. Look at what happened with Kevin Shattenkirk. When he came here to New York, he was supposed to be the guy on defense. Never lived up to the hype here in New York. St. Louis is fine. Washington, I can't remember, but I think he did so-so. New York didn't do that good. Tampa Bay, he's going to do just fine because he's going to have so much pressure off his back. While here, again, in New York, he didn't do that good. But Trouba, everyone knows what type of talent he is. He's 25. He's here for a lot of years. He's clearly the best defenseman they've got right now. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on him as the go-to guy on defense. If he doesn't live up to the hype,
and he has to bring out
that's going to be bad.
He's going to have to bring out more of his defensive game.
Exactly. Because they have Stoll, Brady Shea, Brendan Smith, Adam Fox, who a lot of people are very high on Adam Fox. He's projected to make the team this year. I'm okay with that. He has a 3-year entry-level contract. Expires 2022, 2023. I'm a little worried. I'm not going to lie. I think Trouba's a good defenseman, still very young. But if he struggles, it's not going to be a good sign for New York because they're going to get on his case fast. Because New York's obviously a big market.
Yeah.
And in big markets, they expect their big players to shine. I don't
know how
those are at least my thoughts.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, it is always harder because we even saw that with Briz when he came here.
Right. Exactly. But yeah.
But you know how last time we talked about with the Islanders and them having the buyout of DiPietro?
Yeah.
Remember Brad Richards?
I do.
They have to pay him for the same amount of time.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, my Lord.
He's all the way there.
Dan Girardi, they have 4 buyouts on the list.
Because for a long time, they were just like, oh, let's just get the biggest guy. Let's get him.
Yeah.
We're so close. And then they just never did because their way of like around 2014 or 13, whenever they went to the
2014 to the Stanley Cup.
Yeah. Their whole thing was, oh, we have a pretty good defense here. We're focusing on defense, and the offense is just going to come later.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where they thought, oh, bring in Brad Richards. He's brought into some talent.
To be fair, Richards did do quite a bit for New York.
For a little bit. He was signed in 2011-12. He lasted until 2014.
Oh. Never mind. I could have sworn he was there for much longer, but clearly not.
But yeah, they were always kind of like, even with what's his name, and Florida now. Keith Yandel. He had the same problem as Kevin Shattenkirk.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, these big-name defensemen.
Or even big-name free agents. They've, same for the past, like, maybe, like, 5 or so years kind of haven't panned out for them.
Yeah.
And the way that they hoped they would be. Not that no one's not going to try to sign Panarin.
Right.
And I'm sure everyone was surprised that they were able to get Trouba, but they did.
Yeah.
I don't know. They are an approved team, I will say. But I still don't know where I'd put them. Last year, they were 7th at the Metro. And they were 26th in the whole league. With 78 points, 32, 36, and 14 was their record last year.
Yeah.
I think they'll do better. I'm not really sure how much better. Just because this whole division is going to be a little more interesting to see, just because teams improved, and except for one. And it's just getting a little tighter, so we'll just see how it goes. Got anything else on the Rangers?
No, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
What I guess the final thing we can leave for them is, what are your expectations for this year? Because I don't have high expectations. I have higher expectations than last year, because I think Trouba. Well, I think he'll play a big part. I don't know how he'll actually do, just because, again, that whole New York aspect there. I don't know. I could be dead wrong. That's just what I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of on the same thing. They'll do better, but I don't think they'll make the playoffs.
I still don't think, because they're still going to be a young team. They're still definitely rebuilding.
Mm-hmm. Trouba and Panarin still make it more interesting, and obviously,
because
the only question mark then comes in a couple years with Lundqvist.
Well,
He's 37 now.
This is actually what I want to bring up, and I forgot about it until you mentioned this. I'm so glad you brought up Lundqvist, because for a long time, I really was concerned with who's going to replace Henrik Lundqvist. Not anymore.
Georgiev.
Yeah. we saw what he did last year.
Mm-hmm.
He looked spectacular.
Yeah.
Spectacular could be. He's only 23. That could be, not the best word, but that's the only thing that comes to mind. Alexander Georgiev. First, it took a long, long time, to even be able to pronounce his name. But for Georgiev, though, as I'm bringing up his stats right now,
with the Rangers and 33 games, he
14, 13, and 4. That's not great. It's not terrible. 2.91 goals against average, .914 save percentage, 2 shutouts. There were times where he showed glimpses of excellence.
He didn't do great.
Right.
He didn't do great in the AHL last year.
Yeah, I know. But that's why obviously he's not going to be the starter yet. He's showing signs that he could potentially take over, though, for Lundqvist in a couple years. And the fact that he's just going to be a backup.
If you look at it from 2017-18 to last year for the Rangers, at least, those numbers are improved.
Right, exactly. That's why I think that if Lundqvist sticks around, because how old is Lundqvist?
37.
Oh my God, he's 37.
2 years left in his
Jeez,
deal.
at least. Honestly, I think at the end of his contract, that might be it for him. But in those 2 years, kind of like how Brian Elliott is mentoring Carter Hart, Lundqvist can mentor Georgiev, and then obviously you're going to need another backup. But Georgiev can then become the starter. You might even see Hank as a backup for a 1-year deal. Who knows? In the meantime, then they need to draft somebody that's
my
only
two goalies that are coming up in cap friendlies: Adam Huska and Igor Shesterkin.
Okay.
Shesterkin.
We'll see how that goes for them, but I really think that
all their goalies are really young.
Yes, but that's good though for them. I think that it's encouraging for New York. Georgiev is, I think, the answer for the future. Again, for the future.
Having said that, they should probably draft more because there's only 3.
Yeah. Also, because I saw that they have somewhat a decent amount of picks. Because I don't have it up right now. How many do they have according to Cap Friendly for this year? Because they at least have like 8, I think. 9. There you go. They don't have this year's third rounder. They have Dallas's third rounder though.
Yeah,
so
maybe they can find a good goalie.
Yeah. I think if they can find a goalie in the 3rd, 4th round, I think that would be ideal for them.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because I'd imagine that there's some good goalie out there that's under the radar.
Oh, absolutely.
That somebody, but specifically New York, could grab.
Oh, yeah.
So,
but
yeah. So that's that.
And Flyers are our next one. We're
going to. Let's go.
We're just going to be talking about the Flyers the whole time.
I guarantee. Yeah, right. I guarantee you, it could be an hour and a half for the next podcast. That's my prediction. Yeah. Hour and a half for the next podcast.
All right. We'll leave you with that then.